Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So, in the beginning of quarantine, my mom and I were at this Walmart supercenter, and it was completely ransacked. And I thought to myself, wow, what a perfect opportunity for marketers to look around the empty shelves to determine what doesn't sell in the event of an apocalypse. So, let me give you an example here. We're walking down the aisle, and there is a double stacked frozen pizza. And I turn to my mom and I ask her, who would buy this? Like, it's absolutely disgusting when you put it in the oven and heat it up. I mean, your top pizza's crust is going to be all soggy. Should we go ahead and get two? Because there was no other pizza available. And I love pizza. So maybe that's not a great example for marketers. Some other things we did not purchase that day include sugarless cereals. So just a cardboard box with more cardboard in it. Or meat that's not really meat, like bologna, or bologna with cheese, bologna with pimento, bologna with chives, just bologna. And finally, one of the more mysterious, weird things in the aisles, ultra thin, fat-free Oreos. Because at the end of days, that's what I'm going to be eating. Tonight's a very special evening for myself and my family. They've never been to a comedy show before, so I'm trying to make this as an authentic of an experience as I can, hence renting out the living room as Bailey's Comedy Club. And I told them, this is such a great deal. Like, this is really great. I'm only going to charge you guys $10 at the door, and best part, your drinks, they're on the house. I'm very generous that way. It's summertime. I'm in California, and I work currently at a South Carolina venture capital firm, which has been really great. A little bit confusing, though, because they'll schedule morning meetings at 9 a.m., which is 6 a.m. for me. But I've figured out my sleeping schedule, and now I have, in order to keep up with what time is it over on the East Coast, I've changed all the clocks to the East Coast time zone. My parents aren't too thrilled about it, but I've told them, look, you should be happy. You're finally on time to stuff. I'm also working at a different company locally in California, a little startup tech firm, which doesn't make the time zones any easier for me to figure out. But in the process of juggling meetings, there's no excuse for being late anymore because you're just home. I've tried. I've said, oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. There was just so much traffic coming up the stairs. And when I got to the kitchen, there was an accident that resulted in a backlog of dishes and just nowhere to put my computer. Outside of work, I've been playing this game that's similar to Dungeons and Dragons with my friends. It's this futuristic cyberpunk game that's set in 2020. It was made in the late 80s. It's all this futuristic rise of technology and AI. And there's devastation and disease in the cities. And I'm like, in the 80s, this was a game. Today, in 2020, I'm just trying to figure out, what can I write down? What can I keep track of to survive? I'm taking notes. But quarantine hasn't been all bad. There's been some really great things that have come out of it. For example, animal adoptions are at an all-time high, which is absolutely fantastic. That's great. I can't help but worry that are there going to be people who will take in highways for adoption? I'm really concerned about those freeways. Most of my family lives 3,000 miles away. And quarantine has given us the opportunity to spend time together and connect via Zoom. It's been really great. I've even taught my grandma how to use Zoom, which has been a challenge for both of us. Let's just say that. I'm like, okay, Grandma, we're gonna make Zoom happen now. Okay, you ready? Okay, turn your video on. Turn your video on. The video icon. the video. Wave your mouse. No, don't put the mouse on the screen. Just keep the mouse down. No, now you've muted. That's the microphone button. I can't hear you, Grandma. Grandma, is Grandpa there? Can he help you? Grandma, no, don't. The video ended. We'll try again tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Bailey Walvoord.